Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Now, although with this overall situation having to seem as though it now has our heroes backed into a corner with no means of escaping, so as long as our unity stands, will our willpower along with our determination keep us from being destroyed and turning things around against these demons permanently?
As our story now continues back within Universe 7 with our heroes trying to desperately come up with a strategy and having to counter against the Dark Masters, to which with both Goku and Vegeta now finding themselves back to back and having to face off against both Gira and Jogo, was when Goku then went on to further address Vegeta by responding, "While I'm not really sure on what to go and make of this strategy of yours that you have in mind here, Vegeta, however, if there is one thing that I am certain of here, it's that we'll need to go and stick together if they go and try to attack us, so that way we can go and maximize our efforts in using more of a team-based approach rather than simply go and use a single-based approach instead. But you say that you were able to go and sense it then too, don't you? For I was right to have went and picked up on the fact that they are constantly shifting back and forth by using the demon realm itself as a means of an energy source of some kind. But what exactly is your plan here, Vegeta? Because I know that you are up to something, as I can feel it within your spirit. And so now what exactly do you have in mind here? Because you better go and make it fast before these two are given the chance to go and try to attack us, with Vegeta responding, "Well, aside from sticking and moving as a unit and making sure that these two don't try and zap us both out of whatever power we have left wide open on the surface out here against them, I have been looking into and studying their ancient techniques along with reading into how to channel and use the demon realm's very own dark energy against its native creatures, but the idea itself might end up taking me a minute or two to successfully go and pull this off in time, and so I'll need for you to go and stand by and watch my back in the meantime while I go and try to attempt this and having to pull this off with succession, Kakarot. Because you and I both know that we cannot continue to allow for these demons to go and jump in and out between our worlds like this, and so the longer they are given the opportunity to breathe, will it only make matters worse for us in the long run if they don't wind up coming back even stronger than how they are right now, with the Dark Master Jogo then having to address the Saiyans by responding, "And just what exactly could the two of you possibly be whispering about over there? Because unless it just so happens to involve anything other than having you both accept your demise in the name of Lord Raijin, then there is nothing that the two of you could possibly hope to come up with over there that will actually go and work against us here, and you know it, Saiyans. And so now go ahead and get any last words that either one of you may have for the other out of the way, because this is where we draw the line in battle against you both, and as we look to hereby go and put an end to your struggles, so that way we may go and finally honor Lord Rai." But then, it was only from within those very moments now, out of nowhere, with the Angel Whis being shown having to finally make his re-entry and having to step on in and having to be shown kicking Jogo away, was when the Angel Whis went on to further address Jogo by then responding, "That's quite enough, for you and your kind have went and caused too much damage as it is, and since both you, along with your armies, have now officially blurred the lines between between the demon realm and the very multiverse itself through your twisted and vile corruption over them, the laws in which just so happen to prohibit and bind us angels has now officially been lifted, which only now means that you will also be dealing with me here now in battle as well, creature, with the wounded Gohan being shown lifting his head by responding, I knew that he would go and be here, and just in time to go and help us even the playing field out here against those monsters too. And what better timing in having you finally arrive here and helping us, Whis, with Whis being shown having to address Goku and Vegeta by responding, my apologies for not being able to go and arrive any sooner than I just was, but I must go and give you all fair warning that the situation involving these demons is unfortunately now far worse than it was ever shown having to be before just a few hours ago, and so we are to all go and engage and do what we must in order to carry out our plans in fighting to defend the multiverse at all costs before it is too late. And this means in also having us angels enact our duties in breaking our code once more for the sake of doing what is right. And so now that I am here, Whis continues, I return to you all with enough confidence to say that if we don't go and take care of these creatures and are to allow for them to somehow escape, Whis adds, then I'm afraid that we will fall victim to their ultimate plan, which is why we are here to stand together in finishing this before we are to go and reach the point of no return, with Gira having to then chime in, damn that angel, and just where the heck did he just go and spawn in like this from out of nowhere from? For our plans are now under serious danger, especially with Whis being here to defend these mortals alongside his god of destruction, and so we will go and need to be able to come up with an entirely new plan before it is too late. Wait a second, and just what exactly is he holding over there within his hand, Gira questions, for could that truly go and be as to what I think that it might be? Because if it just so happens to be one of those 3 cubes that Lord Raijin is looking for, then, oh, but of course, for we must go and warn Lord Raijin of its current whereabouts immediately. Curse these angel attendees and their blind loyalty in wanting to go and defend these mortal rodents, Jogo adds, for we mustn't now go and leave this up to chance and fight this angel, since even with our combined efforts, we still wouldn't go and come close in being any sort of match against them, and so we must leave this for Lord Raijin to go and handle, since he is by and large far more powerful than any of these angels, and so we must retreat and retreat now, as we are not fully prepared yet in having to go and face off against the angels without having Lord Raijin here present with us in the meantime, and so now hurry and let us all fall back within the demon realm in assembling more warriors to go and join us, along with siphoning off more power to go and feed us before we are to go and return in facing such dangers. But then, it was only just from out of nowhere now on the battlefield right next to Mechikabura, as an unknown vortex was then beginning to swirl under Garlock and having to pull him down, was when the elite demon Mechikabura then went on to further respond, yes, of course, hurry now, us too then, Garlock, for it would be wise for us to go and avoid conflict against any of these known angel warriors before further actions could be shown being carried out by said angels. And so now, wait a second, and just what is that? This sudden and strange whirlpool of dark and twisted energy, is that yours, Garlock? For what is that? With the surprised Garlock being shown responding, I do not know on what this sudden vortex of dark energy is or where it came from, but this doesn't appear to come from the demon realm here either, and so I can't seem to push back against it, Garlock continues, for it appears to be attempting to try and drag me down beneath its depths, and so I can't seem to be able to use my power along with my magic to try and fight back against it, as I am unable to move and do anything to escape Mechikabura, as its influence appears to also stem from a place that only seems to go very far beyond our own demon realm now here too. And just what do you mean by having to sense this rift being something that goes far beyond the demon realm, Garlock? Mechikabura went on to then further question, and as you should hurry and go and fight your way out of it and break free from this strange vortex and help me complete the mission at hand right now, with Garlock responding, I can't. The force of this strange vortex is making it very difficult for me to respond to its pull, and while I cannot attempt to fight back against it, nor could I go and find a way on how to break myself free, I can't move, with Gira then having to chime in, and just where in the world did that sudden and unknown vortex just spawn from? For its energy signature is unlike anything that I have ever witnessed before aside from Lord Raijin's very own inner nature itself, but how and where does it lead? Gira went on to then further question, as these worms from the 7th couldn't have possibly conjured up such a sudden and unknown bottomless pit like this from out of nowhere, now did they? With Garlock continuing, as the very place of wherever this vortex is seemingly having to take me is unknown, I can't do anything about it to go and break free. And so help me, Dark Lords, help me, as I do not seem to know on where this plans on taking me, as the source of its very signal seems to also be unknown. And so now please, do not allow for this unknown vortex to go and take me, Dark Lords, help me before it's too late. But then, it was only just upon with Garlock having to plead for anyone to save him as he suddenly went vanishing down beneath the ground was when Mechikabura then went on to respond, but I don't understand on how this could be. Oh damn it, he's gone, Dark Lords, for I cannot go and detect Garlock's energy signature anywhere. And as with these Saiyans now finding themselves in having to be assisted by that rotten angel Whis and having to go and try to gain the upper hand here against us, unless we are to somehow go and find a way to go and get rid of that rotten angel, then we cannot possibly hope to win like this without the aid of Lord Raijin here to help us, with Jogo responding, oh, this is just bad, because if we would have went and known that Universe 7's angel would go and show his face as quickly as he just did, then we would have simply had went and ended this long before his arrival, as we should have been more careful in having to first finish these creatures off before he went and had arrived here. For we are to ensure that our legion can still remain within the realms of our control, and so we are hereby left with no other choice than to do what we must, Jogo continues, since the tide here between us with that angel having to suddenly arrive here has now shifted within the mortal's favor drastically. And because of this, we must be smart with how and what we choose to go and do now moving forward, especially with Whis here and having to further aid them in battle. And so now hurry, Gira! Hurry while there is still a chance for us to go and retreat, for we must hurry back and forge a new plan of attack while we still can, whilst also informing Lord Raijin about the current situation at hand. And so now let's go! Oh, hold on, wait for me as well, Lord Jogo, Zoro went on to then quickly shout, for you mustn't go and take off without me and having to leave me behind to go and deal with these creatures all by myself now, and so wait. But then, it was just within the nick of time as Beast Gohan went as far as to get in the way and having to kick Zoro down onto the ground was when Gohan then went on to further shout, oh no you don't, especially not after everything it was that you had just said. Am I going to go and allow for you to go and simply run away here, demon? Then so you better go and brace yourself and brace yourself for the inevitable fast, cause I'm not going to go and let you out of my sights until you go and pay for everything it was that you had said and done to me, demon. I must go and hurry, because whatever happens with the other demons, Gira continues, will not go unpunished by the time we are to go and make our return with Lord Raijin here to go and help us, for this is the only other way that we will be able to safeguard our agenda, and further having to go and make sure that we are all strong enough and with greater numbers, and having to go and come back here again. And so wait, the portal, it's blocked, Gira questions, but how could that possibly be, as none of my dimensional portals was ever shown having to block my entry point in or around and having to use it? And so now how could this possibly be? For there appears to be another energy source that has blocked me from traveling through our dimensions, but who could have done this? Wait, unless with Primal Blue Evolution Vegeta being shown having to address Gira by then responding, and just where exactly do you think you're going in a hurry there, demon? Trying to go and run back to your little world of shadows again, just like the rest of your twisted legion now, are you? Well, not this time you won't, because I know all about your secret little dark techniques that you've been using in channeling the essence of the very demon realm itself like some kind of a power grid to amplify your power. And since I was also able to read more into how you demons tend to operate in drawing upon the demon realm itself in order to further amplify your magic along with your own power, I was able to go and craft up a little dark technique of my very own by using my very own power along with the power of an aid to go and further fuel my energy, as well as also being able to go and tap into the demon realm's essence myself. And since I am now able to fully understand on just how cunning and just how tricky you demons can truly be by secretly using outside energy to further strengthen your resolve here against us. Without it, you are hereby left helpless before having to rely on your Dark King and ever hoping to go and stand a chance in coming close enough to actually go and destroy us. And while the concept of your magic along with your secret dark techniques are still very foreign to me by nature, Vegeta continues, it'll only be a matter of time before I go and find a way to go and turn your own dimension of existence against you. And since you haven't went and figured it all out by now, I want you to go and take a little bit of a closer look, Gira. For not only am I currently forging and using my very own energy along with drawing upon the Demon Realm's essence and having to use it now against you, but I want you to go and take a look on down and having a little bit of a closer look below you and having to go and see the secondary source of energy that I am currently being fueled by, which you don't hope to ever go and stand a chance in having a counter against. To which it was only surprisingly enough now from below as Ultra Instinct Beerus was shown being the one responsible and further having to amplify Vegeta's energy and stopping Gira in her place was when Beerus went on to further respond, "That's right, demon, or did you really think that I was truly going to allow for you little worms to honestly go and get the best of us without going and having me and my mortals come prepared for your arrival just in case you went and actually had made it?" Beerus questions. And as I went and tried to warn you fools that this wasn't going to end well for you, and well, was I wrong? With a desperate Gira being shown attempting to open yet another portal by them responding, No, I cannot be forced in being trapped within this universe alone while having to deal with these creatures all by myself. And so there must be a way for me to go and break through. There just has to be, and I won't stop until I find it. But then, it was just from out of nowhere now before Gira, as Whis went on to make his presence known by teleporting directly in front of her, was when Whis went on to then quickly respond, "And I'm afraid that you will not be so quick to go and leave this universe, especially not after all of the damage that you and your fellow demons have caused throughout the multiverse, which is unfortunately why you must be held accountable for having you go and pay for your actions here, Dark Lord." But then, it was only just from out of nowhere with Ultra Instinct Goku shown having to make his way in doing onto Gira the exact same way as to how Gira had done onto Goku when he was left trapped and having to battle against the demons within the Demon Realm prior, was when Goku then went on to further address Gira by responding, "And while I tried warning you several times over and having to remind you that this wasn't going to end well if you continue to go down this path and waging war against us, let me go and be the first now to go and pay you back, since I'm sure that you don't seem to like it very much when the numbers along with the odds here are seemingly stacked against you, just like it was when you had went and stacked them all against me within the Demon Realm," Goku continues. And on top of it all, just as a way to go and pay you back, this one's for Kibi along with every other demon that you had went and forced to fight on your behalf that went against their own will, Gira. Oh, curse them, as I cannot seem to be able to bypass Vegeta's counterattack in breaking his seal in order to go and make my way back into the Demon Realm, and without my ability to go and do so, then I'll be helpless to go and try to make a difference out here against these creatures, which is why I must go and try to find my way back, and fast, the damaged Gira went on to then say to herself, as we should have been more careful in having to go and reconsider on what these worms would go and be capable of in using out here against us, but we weren't, and for good enough reason too, as I must hurry and try and regroup alongside with the other Dark Masters, and further go and call upon our Legion and having them all come here while we go and summon Lord Raijin to help us, since these little worms have went and had figured out on how to sever our siphoning connection, which we can't. But then, it was only from within these very moments now itself from behind Gira, as Ultra Instinct Goku made his way in and having to kick Gira directly towards Beerus, was when Goku then went on to respond, and just so I can go and give you a reminder here, because this one is for going and using my DNA and creating a Shadow Demon variant of me and having me go and pay you back for getting in the way of my fight against it. That's right now, right this way, Beerus went on to proceed by sticking his arm out by responding, "For you and your kind who are allowed to go and sliver through the cracks of this universe for far too long, demon. And it's due to the fact of all of the damage that you have went and caused within my universe, is it only fitting for someone like myself to go and be the one to deliver your final judgment upon having to foolishly go and challenge my authority, demon. As it was clear to me since the very beginning that you demons weren't looking for a fair unfair conflict here between us, but instead, you had been looking for something more, and now that we have discovered an opening in figuring out of a way to go and slow you demons down and expose your weaknesses for all to see, this is exactly where the game will end up changing within our favor here between us, demon. For I want all of those who stand alongside you to go and bear witness to what is about to go and happen to you, because what will end up following shortly after you are dealt with here will be exactly what they will all have coming shortly after as well. And so now here's a direct message that I want you to go and pass down onto your cowardly leader, in further having to remind him, Beerus continues, of the consequences that will follow when you dare go and cross a god of destruction, demon. So now feel the full force of a power the likes of which you and your kind could only ever dream of obtaining, Dark Lord. And then so now here's a parting gift for you to always go and remember us by. Hakai, Beerus shouts, in which lo and behold, this was now it, because with the Dark Master Gira now having to be shown being vaporized by the hands of none other than Ultra Instinct Beerus, was when Beerus then went on to further continue, and it's a painful way to go now, isn't it, demon? Well, good, because let this go and serve as being a reminder that without your ability to go and draw upon the demon realm's power, and without your leader to go and keep you safe and protecting you when you find yourselves in knocking on death's front door, you will always and forever be known as being nothing more than mere foot soldiers to a far greater being, and a punching bag to any god of destruction who goes and finds themselves in having to face off against you. And so now this is what you get for not only having your pathetic little minions go and ruin my day when they came here earlier, but for also thinking that you can waltz into my domain and expect to go and boss me around without having me go and have something to say about it, demon. And so now that she's gone, which one of you is the next to go? As a prideful Vegeta then went on to quickly respond, well, would you go and look at that, for it would seem as though that these Dark Masters aren't truly as invincible as they assumed for themselves to be after all then. And now that we know of a counter method in having to close these demons in and back them all into a corner by limiting their ability in accessing the demon realm as a means of fueling themselves, it'll only be a matter of time now before they wind up joining that Gira in the afterlife, and they know it. Isn't that right, Whis? With Whis responding, well, be that as it may for now, I can't help but sense something that is rapidly beginning to approach our location, but I can't quite seem to put my finger on making out as to what this could be, as an angry beast Gohan was then shown having to address Zaru by responding, I agree with Vegeta, because would you go and take a look at that? And so what exactly was it that you went on to mention to me earlier, demon? Oh, that's right, Gohan continues. Something about how we wouldn't have been able to go and find a way to beat you demons, isn't that right? Well, so much for that then, because look at how the tables have turned on you now, demon. And now that Whis is here to stand alongside us, along with having to help cut your ties to the demon realm directly and preventing you from using its energy to power and fuel you, it's time that you monsters go and get a taste of your own medicine, because now it's our turn to go and show you on what exactly we are fully capable of, demon. As it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Dark Masters, the official Murno sequel, manga chapter number 36 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now, I will go as far far as to say that although I am extremely proud in having to see you all go and take down one of the 4 Dark Masters and going as far as to level out the playing field between us, I am rather concerned, however, in having to sense something far more powerful having to rapidly make its way towards us all, as even though with the 3rd and final configuration cube within my possession, I'd be lying if I said that we are in for an extremely rude awakening if we aren't able to do what we just did here to all of those opposing demons, and because I have a bad feeling that we are in for the fight of our lives coming up, you do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, and before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to UnrealEntGaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.